I am Francis Matthew John, match referee for match number 7. Today, the match is between GROS and CHOISEUL. We are about to take the toss. I'll hand over the coin to GROS. Tail. Hotel called tail. Tail.
What's your decision?
We're going to have a bat first.
And why?
Well, the pitch looks rather dry, to be honest. So it's always better to have a first bat with the thing of deterioration being a factor in it. So we're going to have a bat first.
And I guess you've seen the teams who've batted first. You've seen the progress and how they were able to manage.
Well, to be honest, I didn't watch too much of the qualifiers. I only watched the highlights, but I think most of the results came to those batting second. So I guess I'm hoping to turn that around today.
So what will be your approach? We know you only have 10 overs.
Yeah, we only have 10 overs. Best approach to get the most runs as possible. See if we can get at least 9-10 over, get to 90, 100 runs, and come out and defend it.
And talk about the defense. How you plan to approach that?
Well, when I have whatever my total is on the board, we'll approach it accordingly.
Now, you call the CHOISEUL coal pots,
yes.
and you call the cannons. Do you think that's a match? Cannon versus a coal pot?
Well, if that is item versus item, Cannon Blast is definitely winning that all day. But this is a cricket team. This is just the whole pots mainly come from a name to describe culture in CHOISEUL, so the whole handicrafts and stuff like that. So hopefully the CHOISEUL coal pots will be winning today.
So it's bat and ball.
Yes.
All right,
ball, yes.
Bronte, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Kimani?
Yes.
Well, so would you have batted first if you won the toss?
Definitely we would have liked to win the toss and would have obviously batted first, but that's beyond our control. Now we know what we have to do. We just do it to the best of our ability and execute our plans.
So what kind of a total are you hoping to restrict them to?
Once our bowlers bowl well, bowl in good areas, stick to the game plans for a long period, we will execute, and that'll be the plan.
What are the strike bowlers that you're hoping will start at least with the restriction early up front?
We have a lot of good bowlers in our team. Anybody could put their hand up and win the game for the team, so it's just basically executing and doing well for the team.
In a game like a T10, do you rely more on pace than spin, or what kind of combination do you use?
I wouldn't say that. Is whatever the wicket offer at a given point in time, I will see and then speak to the bowler, and then it's just about executing on the wicket.
And obviously you are hoping to make a statement here as well.
Our team is just focused on the process. The result will take care of itself. As long as we trust the process, do the process right, the end result will be good.
And finally, what does it feel like to be back having cricket here?
Well, it's always a good feeling to be at the Darren Semi Cricket Ground, and on the whole COVID situation, it's just a great moment for the guys to enjoy themselves and enjoy playing cricket again.
All right, good luck, Kimani.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, the two openers coming out for CHOISEUL coal spot and fitting the label of reluctant brides, but they are now dressed for battle. One of the names missing from the GROS lineup is Dalton Polias. Let's watch Shilcock as he starts the attack for GROS, and that's she caught outside the line of the off stump, getting his radar not correct, maybe just not happy with the foot marks. So it's one without loss. We have been talking about the amount of wides we've had and the problems why wides. And later on, no, there has not been a lot of no balls, but no balls can be costly too. She caught going in, and this delivery is pulled and almost through the hands of the short mid-wicket and stopped just inside the boundary. They come back for the third run. Good running, very positive. I suppose you can call that maybe a technical chance if it did get into the fingertips.
Yes.
But it was hit hard.
Yes, Lee Solomon in the short mid-wicket area. Ball was struck powerfully there by Junior Henry. But it just burst through the hands of Lee Solomon and went agonizingly close to the boundary. But the batsmen, they were able to cross for 3.
So 3 off, a short delivery, nicely put away. Chico's got to keep the ball up. Got a slip there. He's going to bowl to the lefty as Alexander comes into strike. Kicks it back to Jerry Alexander, who led the West Indies, played football for Great Britain, and that's outside the line of the leg stump, but I think it hit the pad and went down towards the keeper's right. Yes, Willie Rodriguez, we said yesterday, played football for the West Indies as a fullback and, of course, as a leg spinner, useful with the bat. Bowl quick googlies and leg breaks. Chico on his way. He's halfway there to Alexander, and he slashes that high over cover and down to the extra cover boundary for 4. And again, the total goes up to 8 without loss. The length wrong.
Yes, erring on the short side, but really giving Odi Alexander room outside the off stump to really free his arms, and that he obliged. Just hitting it over extra cover, 1 bounce into the boundary for 4.
Interesting shot. He didn't go onto the back foot and hit it. He stepped into the shot on the rise and played it well.
Yes, he had room really to free his arms. So that really enabled him to just come onto the front foot and just hit it over cover.
Well, you should be happy with 8 without loss. Very often you see batsmen picking up runs and then will fall in the same over, although they're ahead of the game. That's turned away, outside the line of the leg stump. Strike is rotated, would not look for the second. As a wayward return coming in, maybe the wind is helping, but they hardly seem to be a win right now.
Compared to past few days, this looks about a bit calm. You could see those feather banners in the background. It's fluttering, but not as what we have seen in the say Friday, Saturday.
Yes, I've got a view of flag, and maybe our director will bring up the flag. It is alive, but not really being pushed out. This delivery is very wide of the off stump and leaning across, still got batter onto it. The weight was on the right leg. He kept it down, and 2 more runs. 11 without loss. 11 without loss. Henry 5, Alexander 5. And I think our opening bowler needs to remember what he did last time we played here.
Chico might just be a bit rusty, right? It's one thing to be practicing, but to be actually out in the middle is something totally different.
Chico trying once more. Open chested. And that's down the leg side. This has been a nightmare of an over. Kamani Melius would have wanted a much better start. So already on the board is 15 without loss, 15 without loss. The Bounty Bess was extremely confident that they can put enough runs on the board and defend it. Very happy to have won the toss and very chirpy at the interview.
Yes, well, the CHOISEUL Colport last year, right, they were sort of disappointing. I had them to be in the last 4, and they did not make it to the semis. I'm certain that they would have been very disappointed with their efforts, considering previously they had won the SPL T20 competition down here. So they were very much on a high, and I think teams were really looking forward to them being very competitive, and they did not make it through. So I think this year certainly they have something to prove.
Well, there's more pace coming, whether it's generally quick or is medium pace, whether he's trying to sieve into run. In the meantime, Sexios to move into Alexander. There's no slip. And that's a wayward delivery. Beats the keeper, who was a little late in coming down there. Come back for the second bye. Oh, it came off the pass. Correct.
White signal.
Yeah, so 18 without loss. Not a good start by Rosalie. That kind of quick start. Confidence comes into the batting. Sexius once more goes in. Again, well, this is going to cost them a four wides and extras shooting up. I can tell you that the total also has gone up to 23 without loss. So, you know, teams can talk about how we're going to bowl. You need to bowl the right line, and then you can come out and get it all wrong.
Yes, it's really a nightmare of a start for the opening bowlers. Captain Kimani certainly will not be pleased with the effort of Chico and he was thus far.
So a 5 Alexander in strike. Henry the non-strike on 9. It's none for 23. None for 23. That's probably just about the best delivery that they have bowled. It was right on target. And they're looking to just push forward the ball, hitting the outer part of the bat and going out in the offside. You think that the Millionaires might turn to spin very early?
Well, considering the way his two opening bowlers have performed, he may very well turn to the reliable Larry Edwards.
Sheiko was none for 15. Texas is none for 8 right now, and will be none for 9 because they take a single down towards a very fine leg. 24 without loss. We'll have to change over left and right. It was breaking this morning that a couple of West Indies players have not been given, had their contracts renewed, but since there's no statement from the board, I wouldn't go calling any names because you can't all rely on the social media. But the news does get around because people talk to people. And some people, you know, you will tell them confidentially, and they will tell another 10 confidentially. Sixes, balls, and forward, nice looking shot. Hitting it to a straight extra cover position. He didn't try to hit it too hard. But they're going so well that they can actually be selective.
Yes, with 24 on the board, with just 9 legal deliveries both ends.
It's going to be a pretty long over. Last hit over the head of the bowler and down to the boundary for 4, full toss. And ragged. The attack can only be described as ragged, where the opening bowler was short. In this case, that was a full toss and strong bottom hand, moving up to 28 without loss.
Yes, that was very much easy picking for Henry, Junior Henry. Sexius in this case, right? Guilty of bowling a full ball to look like an informed Henry.
Sexius is considered 13 and is conceding more, and that may be just clearing the rope, and runs really going a begging here. 34 without loss. 34 with loss. We have had what? 11 legal deliveries.
Yes, 11 legal deliveries. 34. So we are really going at a blistering pace.
And that was pitched up and hit high over a straight extra cover. So winning the toss is one thing, getting a good start is another, and they are certainly on their way. Texas bowled, and that's slammed down towards mid-off, nicely stopped by the captain himself. But although he dived to his right, single still taken. They were out of the blocks very quickly. 2 overs gone. It's none for 35.
Hi, I'm Tedison John of the Tedison John Project. Even when we're not rehearsing, we stay connected. Flow makes it easy with Flow bundle plans. My mobile phone, internet broadband to download and send files, my home office fixed line. All the services I need in one place. And guess what? The more services you use, the less you pay. Yep, get more and pay less. Guys, you can't go wrong on this one. Bundle today.
But one must say really poor effort there by these 2 opening bowlers. Chico was shot at 6 years on occasion, 2 full, and he did serve a full toss as well. So certainly they have lost the plot, not the kind of start that you would want from your opening bowlers.
Chico conceded 15 and Sexius 20. So Edwards from the commentary box end, from the Grosley end. Probably you can add a few more descriptions at this end. Coming in with the arm, swings it away out towards square leg. Not really caring, just beating the man close to the circle, but dropping well short to the attacking fieldsman coming in. None for 37. Swinging for the hills, didn't quite time it. So Edwards knows that they will be after him as he moves in now. That's very, very short and cut away, but cut away straight to almost an old-fashioned point. Bernier seemed to have taken a knock on the leg. So missed opportunity to a short ball. Edwards comes in and that's hit to close in extra cover. He had a pretty good 50 over in Antigua.
Yes, he performed admirably, right?
Yes, he's one of the stars. You had Moti, also a left-hander, doing well for Guyana. Edwards doing well for the Windwards. Trying to do well here in this game. See, I guess a quicker delivery. Goes for a leg before shout. And I would think, just judging from the shot, that would have been drifting down leg side.
Yes, it appears from our vantage point.
I think Henry looking to play too many shots too early to Edwards. He needs to see what he's doing for us, wait for the right ball, forcing that past the bowler, and there will be an easy single down towards, well, it doesn't get to long on. It's picked up at just a mid-on position, long on doing the fielding. So Edwards completing what is in fact the 3rd over. And after 3 overs, not a bigger part. I think they're changing over for the left-right combination. We've got 1 delivery to complete the 3rd over. And it's going to be Alexander, who's on 6. He's being almost a bystander, watching Henry motor to 23. Alexander's on 6s, none for 38. And Roland shows me that it's 2.5. Edwards in, and that's played off the back foot. A bit of loose feeling there by the captain himself. And what should have been a dot ball eventually allows a single to be available because the ball trickles behind him. So 39 without loss. We have had 3 completed overs. If this rate continues, they would be very close to 100.
Yes, certainly, right. They would get perhaps close to 130.
Yeah.
Yes, but good comeback over there by Larry Edwards, only conceding 4 runs. Considering what happened, the sort of carnage he had in the first 2 overs. So he certainly had brought it back a bit for them, just considering just that 4 runs, and Captain Melius would be hoping that the other bowlers to follow suit could keep it as tight as possible.
Yeah, I think we'll get more spin from the pavilion end. Still very hazy, no real sun breaking through, but conditions are excellent, and the CHOISEUL Coalports will say they're very happy with the condition because they're 39 without loss after 3 overs, 39 of 18 balls legally. So Brazil now a spin attack from each end, and he's gonna just from the warm-up action. I think Greg bowling off spin.
Yeah, it appears to be based on what we sort of dummy run we saw from him.
Well, a little hold up in the play because some attention being given to the 2 batsmen. Doing a change of gloves or a drink. They were in fact backing us so we couldn't quite see. So 39 without loss. 39 without loss. Brazil to bowl what looks like off spin around the wicket. Bowling to Alexander. Alexander is 7. He'll probably wants to join the party, as they say these days. 7 years. Bill bowls, and that's slashed away. Well stopped indeed. It was traveling. Oh, nuts. Had to get down very quickly at backward point to stop that with the right hand.
Yes, good stop there by Captain Kimani Melius.
Melius wouldn't want him to bowl that length. This is pitched up and clever, looking to drive at that and just force it back towards the bowler. So 2 dot balls. This is encouraging for Rosalie. This is slashed away, just too wide, allowing him to free his hands, hitting it high over a cover and down to the boundary for 4. It's none for 43. Alexander into double figures, moves to 11.
Yes, good shot there by Alexander. But Preamble on this occasion, Red, just guilty of perhaps pitching full up delivery but wide outside the off which really enabled Alexander to free his arm.
Alexander 11, and then struck a Henry on 23. And well, around the wicket comes in. That's down the wrong line, down the left side. And a wide signal. So a lot of pressure on the bowling for Grosley. If you give it away, you have to then make it. In terms of getting the final score, you're trying to chase that short, and they can look for a second because the ball will hit all that cleanly. And sometimes, and he hit it all that clean, it will be and he hit it cleanly. It will be in a single down to a wide long on, slightly mistimed. And they came back for the second run that takes it to 46 without loss. He's gone up to 13. He's back and cutting that to a short third man. The single is taken. There's good control. He didn't hit it straight. He hit it, caressed it to the left of the third man. So again, the strike is rotated. 47 without loss. We've had 3.5 overs. And Clive Jules taking over after over number 5. Clive lives deep in the country, so he would have enjoyed the country life this morning when he got up. This is the delivery which is slotted out towards the extra cover over the boundary for 6. So it relented here, the scoring. 53 without loss. What Kimani Melius will do to try and stop the onslaught. I think he must be running out of ideas, and we could he's going to rely on Edwards for sure.
Have you ever wondered how money can work for you? At Fix, we offer several investment options that can do just that. One option is the fixed deposit, which is a short-term investment where funds are deposited for a minimum of 1 year at an attractive rate, better than anywhere else. The fixed deposit is unique and tailored for both individuals and institutional investors, and gives you the option to reinvest for another period after maturity. For more information, call Fix today at 458-8700 or 458-8740, or email Fix at info@fixlimited.com. Fix, firm and upright.
So Edwards changing the spin. He's not orthodox. This is a ball which was attempted to try and turn it into the left hand, but it was right up. Came forward, just played a little check shot out in the offside.
So Edward in the past Reds, he has played with the CHOISEUL team, so these guys will be familiar with his bowling, and he would be familiar with the batting as well.
54 without loss, Henry 29. And always nice to see a leg spinner come in because it just brings a little bit of mystery. Standing leg spinners in the game. One, of course, from Afghanistan, who is well known and well respected. You see this delivery and golden, awful shot.
Just with the googly again, right?
Just
look at the monitor.
Just swinging and losing his off stump. So, well, some success eventually for Grosley. 54 for 1, 54 for 1. Henry bowled for 29. And I don't believe that he will want to see the highlights tonight.
Yes, but just as I did indicate to you early on last year, he really bamboozled the batters with the googly, and the very first one he produced in the spell, yes, Henry bowled. So certainly one might very well say that he is continuing from where he left off last year.
Yes, true to form, we can say. But, you know, this is very poor batting when you look at that attempt. I mean, a leg spin googly bowler, you even in 2 overs he's going to bowl. You need to have a look. You need to just take your time. And leg spinner, you can always be looking for the googly, and he is known to have it.
Yes, most of it is sort of scores 54. They could afford to just push Pabs down on the wrong 6 singles. Certainly will not hurt them, because you have the likes of Chico and Sexios, Lee Solomon, who are medium pacers, and looking at the wicket, it's easy to play through the line of the ball.
I think yesterday we said don't let the Mobby get too sweet, because it can choke you. Well, they were going so well that it was attack. That was goes in. They pass the diving cover down towards long on. They look for the second. The return is awful. People was running towards the edge of the square. So they're back for the second run. 56 now on the board. 56, let's remind you, in case you've just joined, it'll be good coverage by Calabash TV. And CHOISEUL won the toss and elected to take first strike. It seems to be a good decision as we speak. This is a much better approach. Batsman looking to get onto the front foot. Simon playing for the leg break and allowing to hit the face of the bat. So a dot ball. Only 3 runs conceded. So a good comeback over for Grosley. 1 for 3. And that's using his feet. Hitting the delivery straight past the bowler. And easy single. 57 for 1. 57 for 1. Alexander 15. Simon on 3. And they're scoring over 11. Ideally, Edwards would have loved to have had 4 overs, but the competition only allows 2. Edwards goes in, nice action, pitched up, driven, and maybe slightly against the spin, but he got to the pitch. It kept it along the ground. Simon 3, Alexander 16, and after 5 overs, 58 for 1. CHOISEUL looking to find answers, and the batting side want to capitalize on an excellent start. More from you, and then Clivers for the first time this afternoon.
Yes, a good start there by the CHOISEUL Colport, getting some 58 runs after just 5 overs. So it means that if they were to continue at that rate, they would get well over 100 and 110 overs. It has been proven that it is a challenging total. So certainly they do have this sort of platform to launch to get well over perhaps 120 runs, Clivers.
Hello and good afternoon to you, Greg Wilson. Good afternoon to all our viewers. Calabash TV bringing us some excellent coverage. Certainly shows that Grizzly will be trying to restrict, Grizzly Cannon Blasters restrict CHOISEUL to a lot less than what the current rate will take them to. His delivery to Alexander is short, and Alexander is looking to pull this one in towards mid on, and it's just coming through for 1, taking the score to 59 for 1. Audie Alexander, we will know of his bowling and batting prowess. He's represented Lucia on numerous occasions.
On the Windward Island as well.
Alexander, and he's been joined in the last over by Jason Simon, the batsman, also has represented the over the years. Jason Simon played with football, also at this senior level. Jason Simon joining Audie Alexander. We just saw the exiting of Junior Henry, who also is in the hunt for Women Island Speak as well. And is continuing, and this one is outside off for Audie Alexander, heading towards the boundary at third man, and he'll be stopped just short of the boundary. And back into the middle before he comes through for the second one. For the third run, Jason Simon playing this one, and Audie Alexander pushing for the third. A very, very good running there from the CHOISEUL Colports.
Yes, we have seen some good aggressive running out in the middle. First with Audie Alexander and Junior Henry, and now Jason Simon has joined the party as well. So with the acreage of space out there, once you play into those vacant areas, it's always possible to pick up 2 and 3 once you're running very aggressively.
As a prevail continued, prevail would do well to this one is straight. There's an appeal for a run out. Did he get a hand to it? Alexander was driving his straight, and I'm not sure that prevail got a hand to him. He did get it, but the batsman might have made his ground. Jason Simon was diving back, and prevail got a hand to this one. Or he was driving the touch too straight on this occasion.
Yes, certainly you could say the footing fielder was out there in the middle. Certainly robbed himself of what could have possibly be a boundary or a run or 2. But certainly, we see the umpire has called for a replacement, so that's an indication that that ball was struck, quite hard back to the bowler.
Was traveling, and if it would have done that damage to the sun, I'm sure it would have challenged the boundary, or he had something on this one, and it was traveling. But luckily for Simon, he did not back up too far, and he was able to make his ground back there as judged by the umpire. But Preamble would do well to take a page from Donald Edwards' book and keep it a little bit straighter. On this occasion, he was straight, but he gave some way for the previous delivery to Simon. Udell Preamble, we know of his prowess as well. He's been around in circles. He has a reputation about him.
Yes, one of the promising off-spinners that we have around. It's really, in the last 2 years, we have quite a few youngsters who are coming through.
My name is Godfrey. I have been doing cassava from young with my mom. She showed me everything to do with cassava, how to grate it to prepare the semi-dry. I enjoy making it. It's my life. That's my canoes.
Alexander, and he's given out. He's a judge out by the umpire. Alexander is questioning the decision. Play this one into the offside and just coming through for the run and watch the replay. Kimani Mary very sharp as well. Alexander coming in. This one is touch and this one is a touch and go. Alexander has been a judge out by the umpire, but Kimani Melius is pretty iffy about this particular decision.
Well, from our vantage point, it is not as clear as one who could really make a decisive decision, but looking at the body language of Odi Alexander, he certainly was not pleased with the decision, but it was a very close one. But umpire Darius would have been in the best position to judge whether he was out or not, and he thought that Odi Alexander was short of his ground on this occasion.
Alexander was pretty, by his body language, was disappointed with the decision. He thought he had made his ground, but he's not, nevertheless replaced by Vince Smith coming in to replace Alexander, who was just run out short of his ground. A good bit of fielding by Kimani Melius and threw into the bowler Preamble, who dislodged the bill. And Preamble will continue to Simon, and back of the length again. Simon is just pitching from back on the track. Preamble comes around and there's Preamble. He is tightening up Preamble in this over.
Yes, but bowled a much better over compared to his first.
Again to Simon. CHOISEUL Coporter. This one is hit towards long on, and they come through for one. The fielder gets through it on the bounce. A good bit of fielding there and back, just restricting the batsman to one. And Jason Simon moves on by one. The score 63 for 2 after some 6 overs. CHOISEUL Coporter 63 for 2.
Yes. The old saying, if you want to slow down the rates, you have to pick up wickets, and exactly what has happened. Once we saw the dismissal of Junior Henry, who got some 29 runs of just 14 balls, and now the dismissal of Odi Alexander. So 2 relatively new batters at the wicket. It's a good time for Grosley to really come back into the game.
Sydney and Grosley, after a brilliant start from the CHOISEUL Coporter, Grosley seem to be pegging it back in the last couple of overs, and Edward is coming back, and he's feeling lined up behind, and the disappointment, the keeper went up, the bowler went up, but not interested since umpire John Maffron. On the second grab, pleading with the umpire here is Edward, and John Maffron not interested.
Yes, certainly John Maffron on move, but it was the first appeal there by the wicketkeeper and bowler Edward.
Edward into Simon. Again, this one is through to the piece on that one. Edward through to Gabriel, wicketkeeper for Williams. Gabriel, Jason Simon rocking back and offering that shot on the back into the offside and not making contact as well. Edward again into Simon. This one is short. Simon is pulling, is not. Simon in, and if you land just about the 30-yard circle, the fielder comes off the rope in the wide field and there's the pull-up. 1 run to the total, 64 for 2. Partnership of 2 runs. Simon moves to 8. Smith is yet to get off the mark. Smith now will take up strike. Right-hander Vince Smith. Left-handed Vince Smith will take up strike to Edward. Still some discussion happening out there. Skipper Mary is marshalling the troops and seeing how they can pull back the CHOISEUL Coalports, and it's Edward into Smith. Smith is just running. This one is killing off the outside edge and is going to challenge the boundary. A half stop, but not good enough. The pace, using the pace of the bowler here, and Vince Smith is edging this one down to take it.
Yes, I think Vince Smith was beaten by a googly, really. This one really took the outer edge, and the fielder had the shot foot, but did put in a valiant save. But effort, but really to no avail. The ball just sparred off his hand and down to the footman boundary for 4.
A little bit of pace on that one again, and Edward seems to be using the googly to good effect, and some pace on that as well too. He's varying his pace very nicely and keeping the batsmen in all sorts of trouble as the score has moved to 68 for 2. Edward to Smith. This one is short. Smith is rocking back and cutting this one into the offside towards the wide-ish point, is it? And the fielder comes through. 1 run result.
Yes, good spell there by Donald Edward. Well, his 2 overs, 11 runs considered, and picking up the key wicket of Junior Henry when he had him comprehensively bowled of the googly. So certainly Grosley are clawing their way back into the game. Looking at the sort of start that Grosley had, the Coalports had at the halfway mark, they had already gotten to 50, and they really come back well into the game, and certainly Captain Kimani Melios would look to close. The rate has been dropping considerably. At one point they were going at more than 11. After the 2 overs they were 17.5 and it's now 9.86. So certainly they are really doing an admirable job by the slower bowlers.
The slower bowlers have really pegged it back and pulled back for the Grizzly Cannon Blasters, and more of the same. If it's working, why change it? Royce Paul comes on for the Grizzly Cannon Blasters. Royce Paul over the wicket into Smith, and this one is wide down the leg side and missing the keeper. He's challenging the boundary and it will be put back just inside the boundary. From the young man Lee Solomon, and pulling it back just inside the boundary. Wide signal there by the umpire, and the score moves on to 72 for 2. 72 for 2. Royce Paul to Smith. And the left-handed Smith, a very explosive player as well, can hit the ball some distance. And Royce Paul comes around the wicket to Smith, and Smith is picking this one up in towards the backward square. It will challenge the boundary. Kanelko cannot cut it off. It goes over the boundary. 4 more runs. The score moves on by 4 to 76, and Vince Smith gets the line.
Yes, a bit of pop bowling there by Royce Paul. 2 deliveries so far in the over, and both of them angling down the leg side. But on this occasion, Vince Smith was able to make contact and getting 4 valuable runs for the CHOISEUL Coalports.
The Coalports seem to look to push on, and with that stroke, the score has moved back on. And this time is right on the path and they come through. Kimani Melius is diving in from a point position, and not before they come through for one leg by wrap on the pads. Vince Smith, a delivery again, Roy Paul straight on the pads and down towards the leg side. This time Vince Smith not making contact, and he comes through for one leg by.
Yes, Roy Paul was lucky just to have considered just a leg by, because this again was straight into the pads of Vince Smith.
A little bit too straight is Roy Paul. He's gone back over the wicket to Simon. Paul to Simon. This one is short outside off. Simon is off, looking to cut this one 3 points. The score remains on 77 for 2. 77 for 2. Run rate is 10.27. Paul Simon is using his feet this time and driving towards a long offer. They come through for 1, and that's all. There will be 1 run to the total, 78 for 2 Rebels.
Yes, Royce Paul really looking to pull back or to sort of continue the same vein we've seen, Edwards and Edwards.
Paul into Vince Smith, and he's showing his power now. Vince Smith over the mid-wicket. This is a big one. 6-2 Vince Smith. This takes the score to 84 for 2. Vince Smith is getting into the act, and Royce Paul just outside off stump, but it was in the act of Vince Smith, and Vince Smith helping himself to 6 runs over the mid-wicket.
Yes, good shot indeed from Vince Smith, taking this one from outside the off stump. But the good thing about it is that he was hitting with the wind and was able to deposit this one into the Johnson Charleston, and the score moves on to 84, and the rate has climbed back to 10.72.
And Paul again into Vince Smith, and this time it's heading towards the leg stump. Vince Smith is looking for the slog sweep again, but not making any contact. The ball just hitting him in some.
Get more with our Massy card. One card, many locations for your rewards. Earn points at all Massy stores and Massy card partners island-wide and watch your points grow. Visit our customer service desk at Massy stores or www.massycard.com for more information. Enjoy the many benefits that only your Massy card can bring.
The attacker, his first over, he has gone for 14 runs. So the CHOISEUL Coalport are sort of back on track to possibly get 100 runs in the 10 overs.
And 100 will be asking for a lot from the Grizzly Cannon Blasters. And not forgetting the 2021 Dream 11 T10 St. Lucia Blast is brought to you with the kind compliments of our title sponsor, Dream 11, Calabash TV, and All Bees Media. Flow, Made in Paradise, Scott Sports and Awards, the Trophy Center, Blue Waters, Full 100, First National, and Kendall and Gill Chambers. As we see, Larry Edward, he's taking up the attack from the media center end, and this one is outside off stump. Simon looking to play through the offside and look like he was trying to target the point area and not making any contact. Larry Edward has bowled 1.1 overs, none for 4, and this time there's some contact towards mid-wicket. It's going to be just short of him. The fielder coming off the mid-wicket rope, and a good thing Jason Simon did not time this one very well. Otherwise, with the wind, he could have easily carried to the fielder.
Yes, this last delivery struck them, but well short of Donald Edward, who really came off the boundary rope. Unfortunate enough for Simon, he only got 1.
85 for 2 is the score. Simon has moved to 10 with that single. Vince Smith is on 15. Smith on 15 from 7 balls. Simon is on 10 from 13, batting at a strike rate of 76.2. But Smith heading to 214.29 strike rate. Will he be able to continue with that? It's Edward into Smith. Smith is giving himself room. Outside leg stump. That ball is missing everything, missing the bat and missing the stump, and heading through to the keeper, Gabriel, who does not collect cleanly.
Yes, Smith looking for the inside out shot, but on this occasion did not make any contact.
Larry Edward keeping it very, very tight, using all of his experience, his guile, and to keep the CHOISEUL Colport batters quiet, but this time Vince Smith against the wind, he's hit it. Will he clear? He just clears the boundary against the wind. Vince Smith, some power from this young man. He just picks up Edward with the slog sweep and deposits it over the boundary.
Yes, good shot there by Vince Smith, hitting against the wind, but it was powerfully struck. And as you did indicate, Vince Smith is a powerful player. 6 valuable runs, and he sticks the Colport into the 90s.
Again, this time giving himself room outside off stump, but outside leg stump. That is, but not making any contact. Larry Edward, a good comeback delivery from him. He's gone for 7 this over. He's bowled 1.5 overs, none for 11. He's looking to dislodge one of these 2 batters, especially Vince Smith, who's moved on very quickly to 21 from 10 balls. Larry Edward looking to keep him quiet on this final delivery. He saw him coming, he reset, he pressed the reset button. Is Larry Edward, a smile on the face. Umpire Maffman signals a dead ball. Edward into Smith, and Smith is holding his line and inside out, depositing this one over a long off. Vince Smith is showing some power this afternoon, Redwoods.
Yeah, Vince Smith certainly in a no-nonsense mood. Larry Edwards on this occasion just slightly outside the off stump, giving him the room to really free his arms. And with the final set of overs, certainly Vince Smith knows he has to up the ante and really threw the kitchen sink at this one and got maximum over wide, long off and into the over the boundary for 6.
And that takes the CHOISEUL Colports to 97 for 2. Already it's a challenge in total, Greg Wilson.
Yes, 97 for 2. They are well on course to get over 100. The question is, how much more can they get over 100? Would it be perhaps 110, 115?
Yes, it certainly is going to be a big ask for the Grozile Cannon Blasters. Could start from the CHOISEUL Colports, and we have Vince Smith coming in and getting a quick fire 27. That is correct. Grozile Cannon Blasters, a little bit of history coming off our scorer and statistician, Mr. Cox, Roland Cox. Last year there were 2 century opening partnerships, but this time around, and they came from Grozile, this time around, the Cannon Blasters missing one of the key talisman in Tariq Gabriel. But of course, CHOISEUL Cannon Blasters, CHOISEUL Colports looking to push well beyond that 100 mark, well beyond the 100. And we're into the final over. Solomon will bowl the final over from the Players Pavilion, and Solomon will bowl to Simon, right-handed Simon, over the wicket. And this one is a full delivery, and Jason Simon is working this one behind square, and they come through for 2, just behind square leg, and they come through for 2, taking the score to 99 for 2. 99 for 2, just one short of the 100, that psychological 100 free-figure mark. This run rate has shot up to 10.80. Jason Simon has moved to 12. Vince Smith is on 27. And Solomon into Simon. This time he picks him up. This one is high, handsome, and long, and depositing him into the grassy banks. A huge one, Greg Wilson.
Yes, huge hit there by the small diminutive Jason Simon. He could seriously pack a punch when he gets going, and on this occasion, Lee Solomon attempted slower ball back of the hand, and I guess Jason Simon spotted it very early and deposited it into the grass bank for 6.
It's almost as if Lee Solomon telegraphed this one, and another one this time. Jason Simon is genuflecting, and what a stolen run. Vince Smith, seeing that the keeper's not collecting cleanly, and just stole that run. Jason Simon was genuflecting, looking to pick him up again for another 6, and the run rate has shot up again.
Yes, they're up to 11, but some 43 60s have been struck in the tournament so far, from the qualifiers and this first game today.
That is some hitting. That is some heating. 106 for 2. 106 for 2. Simon has moved to 18. And Vince Smith is batting on 27. What answers does Lee Solomon has? And this one is a full delivery. And Smith looking to heave this one, missing completely. Played all over this one, Vince Smith.
Yes, another slow ball again by Lee Solomon.
And it's Solomon looking to restrict them to as close to the 100 mark as possible, preventing them from pushing on. Solomon into Smith. This one is long and it's landing just inside the rope and just runs over the rope now in the wideish mid-on, rightish, long off area. And 4 more to the total. The score moves to 110 great, challenging total.
Certainly would be challenging, but on this occasion, Smith certainly did not make the sort of contact that he would have wanted.
Final delivery of the innings, and Vince Smith, this time he picks it up. The fielders are just spectating as this one is deposited over mid-wicket into the Johnson Charleston. Vince Smith, what a big one.
Yes, that was a shot he attempted previously, did not get hold of the fifth delivery, but on this occasion, got it off the sweetbread and deposited into the stand. And what a way to finish the inning by Vince Smith. Lee Solomon brought into the attack and has gone for some 18 runs in the over.
116 for 2 they finish. Vince Smith 37 from 14 balls with 3 4s and 4 6s. Jason Simon unbeaten on 18 from 16 balls with 1 6. So a good finish there from the full course. They really pushed through after being pegged back by in the middle overs. They pushed through in the end with Vince Smith and Jason Simon.
Yes, they had a very blistering start with the 2 openers, Audie Alexander and Junior Henry, and we saw towards the middle after the dismissal of Junior Henry, the scoring rate sort of slowed down considerably with the introduction of Donald Edward and the first over of Larry Edward. But the last 3 overs, it was very productive for the Cold Pot. Vince Smith really took a toll on the bowlers.
Born from the same soil, growing stronger.
Raised of our own sweat and toil, doing it together.
I'll bank for you and me,
taking us forward so proudly. First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far.
The pride of St. Lucia, here to stay.
Growing up, growing stronger, it's a First National way.
Every day we're making better, faster and smarter, convenience like no other.
First National Bank, the best of who we are. First National Bank, together we'll go far. We'll go far. For decades every day, it's clear, it's true. First National Bank, we're here for you.
Yes, like I said, young Con Edward is out in the middle. He'll be getting his chance. The likes of Valenius Gabriel, Chad Goodman, who certainly can hold his own. So they have few players, not big name players, but they can make useful contribution, especially like I said, if Captain Melius hangs around, and that should be able to take them over the line.
And the start is important, but as we saw when CHOISEUL batted, they in fact really running away with the rate. And then that rate started to drop in the middle overs, and then towards the end, it pushed up again.
Yes, after the first over, CHOISEUL has gotten 15. The second, they were 45. With the introduction of Larry, they got 4 from the over 39, and then by the 4th over, they were up to 54, and 6 they were 56. But then you had a slowdown in the progression up until the 8th, 9th, and 10th over.
And in all that feast of runs, Edwards, the leg spinner, I think, got 1 for 11 rolling.
Yeah, Donald Edwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very economical. He bowled fairly well. Especially the googly. From
Yes.
last year, the batsman had serious difficulty picking the googly.
Standing out like the piton. I mean, really great control. Turning the ball. Well, it is the turn of GROS, the boys in blue, and Kamani Edwards, who of course is Kamani Melinas, who has played at the international under 19 level. We have to lead for the front. You know, when you first saw him play, you didn't think that he would have been all that effective in the shorter format, because he looked like a very orthodox player.
Yes, but over the years, he has really developed his cricket.
Oh, I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying that initially.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So it's a captain's knock is needed. And this is, of course, the first of 2 games today. We have South Castries against Miku. Darren Sammy, who played for South Castries, will be leading Miku. And they have, according to the pundits, Miku, one of the favorites for the title. Greg, support that?
Well, it looks so for now.
So it's a Rose to start, and that's a good start by GROS. If that is of things to come, short, wayward delivery, almost hitting the toes of the bowler, and nicely strung away over backward square. So maybe signs of what is to come, but they have to continue for a very long time. 6 without loss, and Melinas putting that nicely away.
Yes, well executed, but Clem on this occasion sent Rose shots. Guilty of pitching this one shot, very first delivery, and well, he was just getting inside the line of the ball and just helping this one backward square for 6.
St. Rose trying once more. He needs to pitch the ball up to this delivery. He's again down at backward square and over the rope. So 12 after 2 balls. Melinas has got to be conscious of the band back on the rope. But if you're going to hit it over the rope so cleanly, you don't have to worry.
Yes, he looks like a man who's in good touch. He just came from training camp with the Windward Islands, so he has been playing a fair bit of cricket over the last few weeks.
So 2 short deliveries, nicely put away by the West Indies under 19 captain. Well, he's not anymore because he's past that age. Another short delivery, likes the shot, and again, with the wind, it sails over the square leg boundary. So 3 deliveries, 18, and it's amazing how 1 over can impact as a positive on the batting side and a negative on the bowling side.
Yes, certainly. I mean, CHOISEUL Colport's got 18 runs in the first over, and 15 runs in the first over, and GROS has gotten 18 of the first 3 deliveries.
The former Trinidad and Tobago West Indies player Joey Carew, he had a funny sense of humor. He would have gone up and said, "Hi, St. Rose, you like the shot? You like the hook shot?"
Well, apparently.
You like the hook shot. He's admired it. And he pitches the ball up, and because he's pitched the ball up, he has made Melinas play to mid-wicket. So that should be an indicator. I've just found the right length. And he comes back to his mark. 18 on the board. We've had only 4 deliveries, but St. Rose once more rushes away from us. A short outside the off stump, and there's an appeal for caught behind and given belatedly. A delivery which seemed to be outside the off stump. He went across. He did commit to play a shot, and the appeal was very confident. The umpire took his time, like Buckner when he stood for the West Indies. So 18 all to Melinas, but he goes court keeper of the bowling of Rose, and a major setback.
Yes, a major setback indeed, and Captain Melius would be very disappointed having that sort of blistering start, 3 sixes of the first 3 deliveries, and to be out caught in the fifth delivery.
Yeah,
but yes, Social Colport would say definitely that's the sort of start they would have wanted to see the back of Melius very early. It is true he struck some 3 sixes, but I think they would be happy that he's back in the pavilion.
I'm sure our producer will like to maybe give us that replay again of the dismissal. So Goodman comes, and Goodman has always had, as a very young lad, the support of his mother. I think they're two brothers. They're 2 brothers, and the mother paid a lot of attention to the 2 young men and helping their cricket, taking them to cricket, taking them back home. Now, Goodman is in strike, and said Rose coming in 18 for 1. And big appeal, struck in the pad out like before. Well, playing across the line, play in the V, play in the V. The coaches always tell you that. I'm sure that as a young man, Greg Wilson has been told that a million times, but guilty of playing across, and goes LBW, and all of a sudden, after a flying start, they're 18 for 2, we're still in the first over.
Yes, one would say a dream start for Social Colport, picking up 2 wickets, and most of that of the captain, Kimani Melius and Chad Goodman, just the solitary delivery, and here's a judge LBW. So good over, one would say, by St. Rose, in terms that he was able to effect 2 dismissals, but he did go for 18 runs, and the Choiseul Colport are certainly in a good position, Reds.
So, who is going to put their hands up for Grosley? Because the captain is gone. Goodman has gone off the first ball. And very cool conditions. The flag, I can just have a view of it being stretched out, but it's been a different sort of day. Very, very English type of weather today.
Yes, just a little overcast. The sun is not out. But, yeah, well, good conditions for bowling, really.
Yes, right now, yeah. So, but if you look at the scores we've had, the bowling conditions haven't quite helped those who have turned their arms over.
Not at all, Reds.
So Lee Solomon, now with the responsibility, as he joins Elcock. Both batsmen are not. So starting all over again. And it's going to be best to move in. Long, loping strides, and he comes up and balls and down the leg side. The radar is wrong, and it's a wide signal. But that story I told you about the late Joey Kuru is authentic. And there's a similar story about Easton McMorris leading Jamaica and telling Newton Dow, you're bowling to Roy Fair, just keep it up. And after 32 runs off the first 5 balls, McMorris had to go and remind to keep the ball up outside the leg stump, another wide. So Bess hasn't started all that well. And total moves up to 20 with a loss. But Newton Dow, as McMorris approached him, he didn't wait for McMorris to say, yes, skipper, I know you told me to keep it up. That was a Sabina Park, and it's not a make-up story. Bess goes in, bowled him, off stump. Good delivery, right up. Maybe he was surprised at the fact that the first 2 deliveries was down the leg side, and all of a sudden, off stump shut it back. So a disaster here for the Grosley team. They are 3 for 20, and we have a situation after a flying start in a matter of a couple of balls. They are really being pushed back.
Yes, good Yorker bowled there by Captain Bronte Best to young Elcock, who is making his debut. Certainly the young man would have wanted to trouble our scorer there, Mr. Cox, but he really did not. But good piece of bowling there by Captain Bronte Best. Further tightening the screws on the Grizzly Cannon Blasters.
Well, it's really difficult to see Grizzly recovering from this, but you know, this is a game called cricket, and there is still a fair amount of overs to come because we've only had 1.1.
Yes, 1.1. A lot of action in just 7 legal deliveries read.
Yes, if we had paid to come, we would have got our money's worth already.
Yes, most certainly.
So, Rosalie, 20 for 3, gloomy, overcast, very English conditions, more at Manchester than at the Darren Sammy. And left-hander, Gabriel. Slippers come in. In fact, they're doing so well that Bunty Best could even employ a second slip, or a gully. He comes in and turns away, just hitting the pad. I thought from him he got a little batter onto it. He did not. The strike is rotated because of the bye. 21 for 3. 21 for 3. And the Alton Crafton could not be at all happy with the bowling, nor overall the batting, despite, of course, Mellinus was looking so good. That's a delivery which, looking to drive at that, there's an appeal, but hit outside the line of the off stump. So both batsmen on the dreaded knot is 3 for 21, 1.3 overs bowled. What do you think of the weather? Are we going to get some rain?
Well, the forecast for today is to have a bit of rain.
Best seems in, and that's not timed at all. Pitched up, looking to drive. It seemed to come off the bottom of the bat, the toe of the bat, and just going outside the line of the off stump. Well, it's hoping that it will fall elsewhere if it's going to fall. It did fall, I think, in many parts of St. Lucia earlier, Best bowls. And again, miscuing it as he looked to pull it through the onside. So Solomon not getting the ball away. And Best serving a pretty good over. After 5 deliveries, only conceded 2 runs.
Yes, Captain Best did bowl some 2 wides in the first 2 deliveries, but has really redeemed himself.
He bowled once more. I think you put the goat mount in him. What he does, he goes down the leg side. 22 on the board, 22 on the board. And I don't want to be a prophet of doom, but it's getting a little dark. There's a little bit of sunshine maybe in the distance. Best comes in, and that's again down the leg side. And the keeper, alert as ever, throwing the stumps down by the batsman, has stayed his ground. It inches up to 23, 3 for 23. Solomon not, Gabriel not, and Rosalie rocked back. You could see a rock back in their backyard.
Very much so.
They are very much a Rosalie team, and this ground is in Rosalie. That's nicely played, off the pass, down to a square leg. They take one good running, and they come back for the second, and that takes it up to 25. In the old colonial, intercolonial.
It's my life and I want more. More time, more power. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card. Pay direct to Lucy like my account. I have the power, yeah. Pay online to Lucy like my account. Anywhere, any day, any hour. Lights are on at home. No more standing in line, no more worrying about my bill. Now I'm all paid up, got more time to chill. Yeah, yeah. Pay my Lucy like bill isn't hard. I pay with credit or debit card.
Starts his attack, and just waiting for the field to settle. There's a long on mid-wicket, that's down the leg side. And unfortunately, the persistence of wides continues in this competition.
Yes, it seems to be a problem that is dogging all the teams.
Simon goes in, and what he does, he produces another wide down the leg side. This time the keeper takes it quite cleanly. Well, we discussed it yesterday, a combination of maybe being rusty, a combination of a bad bowling action, losing shape. This is a better delivery, turning into the batsman and pushed out in the offside, but doesn't challenge the covers. As he goes in once more, that's clipped away down towards backward point. It had to be a direct hit for him to be out. It went past the keeper, and they were to come back for a second run. So every run counting dearly. Every run weighted goals, so to speak. That's short and swung down towards long leg, outside the leg stump. Gabriel being fairly ragged, and the GROS batsman happy to be able to free themselves from the stronghold. And 33 on now on the board, Greg.
Yes, loose bowling there by Alvina Simon. Number of the deliveries has been angling down the leg side, and finally Gabriel was able to capitalize.
Simon cramps him slightly as he goes on to the back foot. And Gabriel, as the ball turns in, he didn't have the room to play the shot he was looking well off the back foot. 3 for 33, he goes in, pulls the dart, goes on to backward square, take one. They decide, well, there was an awful mix-up, but luckily the fielding wasn't all that sharp. The return was not on its way all that quickly, and they managed to decide eventually, shall we, shall not, shall we dance, shall we not dance? Well, shall we take the second run? Goes to 35. That's hiked away out towards a catch at mid-wicket, and great catch.
Who took that?
Bronte.
Well, it was short, hitting into the wind, which is always a factor, and brilliantly caught. We have a worrying sign as the ground staff seem to be ready to bring the covers on, and with the total at 35 for 3, we've had 2.5 overs bowled, 35 for 3, and disappointingly, the covers has got to come on, but let us not discuss what was a superb catch.
Yes, superb catch indeed by Captain Bronte Best, coming off the wide mid-wicket boundary.
35 for 4, and 35 for 4 off 3 overs. 35 for 4 off 3 overs. With Solomon yet 2 and Edwards no score. So play not very far away from starting back. Players just getting into their fielding positions. Greg, what do you think of the revived target? Heavily slanted against the batting side?
Yes, very much so. Looking at Reds, if my maths serves me right, Reds about 14 runs and over you're looking at.
Yes. So, just a little bit of delay as the field is being set. Monty Bess.
Simon, it looked like. Vin Smith.
Bess bringing Smith into the attack. And no slip. Keeper standing up, so we know what will be the style of bowling, and that's cut away and cut away well down towards the backward point, and 4 runs. Short outside the off stump by Smith. Nice looking shot there by the left-hander, Edwards, as he gets off the mark very nicely. But they really have to go flat out to try and get anywhere near the required right delivery, which is a dot ball, which Grosley don't want. So a boundary, and then the second delivery is faced from Smith. They're looking to hike that away. Gets it down towards square leg, come back in for a second, will not. They change their mind about it. So the chase is on. They've added 4 so far. Smith to Solomon, and Solomon looks to whip that away, but ball trickles to a fine leg. Looking to hit that down towards square leg. So 2 more runs added. He goes to Solomon. Edwards 5. And Smith bowling from the far end. And that's driven to cover. Cover fairly deep and single easily taken. Single easily taken. So 44 for 4 on the board. And that's hiked away. That will go over long on. Big effort here. They're right to over some 10 runs in this over already. In fact, 15 are already in this over. Can they continue, Greg, to keep striking at this rate?
Yes, the important thing is to know what the target is.
Yep. And that's short and pulled away and down to square leg. Too short. And the left-hander Edwards getting into his wicket nicely, putting it away. He moves to 15. Solomon is 3. And we have completed the 4th over. Travis Jules will be along to tell you more about it after the 5th over is completed. So not a very good over by Smith at all. And did they get up to the rate they wanted? Right?
Well, they went well beyond it. Some 19 runs was scored off that over from Ben Smith. Very expensive indeed.
Well, you can have in this kind of a delay situation when rain comes, it's a bit of a lottery, as if the scoring is quick enough, especially off the early bowling, the side batting second, who seem to be disadvantaged.
Alvin Simon.
So Simon to move in. He's going to be bowling to Solomon, who is on 3. So the start of the 5th over. Long off, long on, mid-wicket. Square leg going out. Mid-wicket coming in. Square cover on the boundary. They're trying to stop the single, but they don't have to worry about the single. Worry about trying to stop the boundaries. And that slot over cover. To take 1, they will come back for the second. Will they look for the third? Well, they will look an opportunity there for a run out, looking for the third. But the hustle is definitely on. The hustle is definitely on in the 5th over. 57 for Solomon and 6. Edwards 15, Greg.
Yes, Larry Edwards really wanted 3 runs Reds to get back on strike and really push young Lee Solomon for the third run. So Larry is back on strike, and let's see what he could continue to do to get closer to the 78
Strong
run target.
onside field, and that's hit quickly down to his long on, and no chance of a second because it's really traveling very, very fast. Didn't think of a second run, so Edwards have lost the strike momentarily. Edwards moving to 16, Solomon 8. And Solomon slashes at that. That will probably go into the boundary. It does. And 4 more runs to the cause of Grosley. You can hear the shouting and clearing, and just about every member of the Grosley party from the squad is standing now and watching. 62 for 4 on the board, and we have had 4.3 overs. Simon waiting for the square leg to come in. Mid wicket dropping out. Long off is out. Long on is out. Cover is out back in the boundary. That's it down towards long off. And a little error in feeling, but they didn't come back for the second run. Only one, but Edwards is back in strike. 11 Solomon, Edwards 16. And Simon maybe just being bothered by a little bit of moisture on the ball. That's a quicker delivery, a wide call. Well taken by the keeper. He's standing up. That was almost a little bit of a medium pace delivery. Simon back to his mark. 2 balls left in this over. As that swung away and over the head of the long one. Big effort there by Edwards. Moves to 20. Grosley, in a very short period of resumption, doing extremely well, 70 for 4.
Yes, certainly, Reds. With just 8 runs remaining, it looks like Grosley is going to pull this one off.
There'll be no doubt great debate in the fielding side, feeling maybe that the rain stopped them from going on to victory, but it's part of the conditions. That's hit high, and will that clear? It's caught down at the long on boundary. Edwards really going for broke. Hit it high, but it just didn't have the length. It had the elevation, but nicely caught just inside the rope.
Yeah, well taken by Callis Richardson. They had the height, Reds, like you said, but not the distance.
Yeah.
But I think that Edwards has done enough to get his team close enough to go past the finish line with 78 runs the target. Just 8 runs needed of the last over. So certainly they should be able to pull this one off.
Well, a 22 ball hurricane knock by Edwards has brought Grosley right on the edge of victory. It'll be more from you, and then it will be in fact lifeless.
Yes, good little cameo there from Larry Edwards. You know that they needed some 14 runs per over, and certainly he did come out there and really press the accelerator right after the rain break, and certainly has put his team in a good position to pull what looks like a challenging score, the 116 initially, but with the revised total, certainly the 78 looked very gettable.
Larry Edwards has really hit his team back into this one. And 78, the revised total. There you see the benefit of the good start from Kimani Melius. That's paying dividends now. That 18 run of the first over is really coming, and it's paying dividends for the Grizzly Cannon Blasters. So
looks like Callis Richardson.
Richardson.
But it was a bit surprising that after the rain break,
that they would have given Alvinus Simon.
they went to the spinners and not one of the faster bowlers, because it was obvious that there would have been moisture in the outfield, and it would always be difficult for the spinner to grip the ball.
You saw Alvinus Simon with the rag trying to dry up the ball, and he was not really gripping it. So I thought that Bronte Best would have missed the trick with that particular change. But we're seeing the introduction of Canis Richardson taking the catch to dismiss Larry Edward, who really hitting those 22 of just 8 balls would have hurt the chances of the Choiseul Coldport. But Richardson, 8 runs as Richardson, and this one is off the pads and heading towards the boundary. It is going to go into the boundary now. 4 runs to Donald Edward. Richardson straying on the pads, a little too straight on this occasion, and Donald Edward helping himself to 4 of the needed 8.
Yes, but it's very surprising that Captain Bronte Best has not seen the need to have taken the ball after the break. He has only bowled just 1 over. Alvinus has bowled 2, and I'm saying now we have a new bowler in Richardson.
And in a pressure situation, 8 runs needed from 6 balls, and Richardson has given 4 of the first. And again into Edward, and that's it. The Donald Edward giving him the charge and hitting him wide over long on, and consecutive boundaries to finish it. And after what might have been one of the highest totals in this year's, probably the highest total in this year's tournament so far, and we're losing to a very spirited Grizzly team, the Grizzly Cannon Blasters.
Yes, a very exciting match, one would say. Well, it's a game of 2 different halves. You saw before the rain break, it looked like the CHOISEUL Coldport really had Grizzly up against the rope, and it looked like they would have made life really difficult for them to overhaul that total of 116. And with the revised target of just 78, 43 needed in 3, the Grizzly Cannon Blasters really made light work of the 43 runs needed. But one really has to question the captaincy of Bronte Best.
The decision-making of Bronte has to be called into question, particularly after the rain came. The choice of bowler to throw the ball to Alvinus Simon, who had gone for some in the previous over, and himself, Bronte, just bowling 1 over, might have come back, and then to throw the final ball with 8 runs needed for victory. The final over to new bowler Canis Richardson. It's pretty questionable in terms of his decision making.
Yes, but good victory nevertheless for the Cannon Blasters. They would have wanted to start with a victory, and that they did. And CHOISEUL Coldport again a bit disappointing this year after really doing excellent with the bat, but really ruined the chance with the ball really.
So you could say that the CHOISEUL Coldport would have played very well for 13 overs out of the possible, 16 for this match, because 3 overs into the Grizzly innings you had with Grizzly Cannon Blasters at 35 for 4. You would pick CHOISEUL Coldport to win it. Then the rains came and everything changed for the CHOISEUL Coldport.
There's so much in this game with regards to what constitutes a match, a Duckworth-Lewis calculation. Also, there was just a whole bunch of situations happening at once, but we still should have continued that way better. So yeah, it's sad that we lost, but we have to just pick ourselves up, as I said, and go on and win the rest of the games.
And you did give us an exciting match as well.
Well, yeah, a good season opener for the tournament.
Excellent. All the best for the future.
Thank you.
All right, so we're joined now by Kimani. Kimani, 116 appeared to be a tough total for you?
Well, it was closely to a runner ball. I think we had to go at 10.6 and over. I believe we set the tone from the very first 3 balls of the game, which went for 3 sixes. I believe this set the tone for the team chasing. So it was an emphatic win from the guys. Kudos to Larry and Don and the way they batted under pressure in the last 3 overs. That was quite exceptional from them.
Were you getting nervous at all when you started losing those wickets?
Well, T10 is a quick-paced game, so I wouldn't say there was a certain element of nerves in our dressing room. Like I said before, I spoke to the guys. I say, do we want to be a team to win easy games? No. They say they want to be a team to win under pressure. When things not going our way, to make things go our way. And that's the dream for our team going forward in this tournament.
Once you got the revised total, what was your advice to the guys?
Basically, it was to go out there and play the same brand of cricket we said we would play initially in the first 10 overs, is to play a positive and aggressive brand of cricket, and that's what we did, and kudos to the guys again.
Congratulations, all the best for the future.
Thank you, sir.